Hey friends, Donovan here. Had a couple of thoughts on something that I thought I would share based off of a conversation I had with another trumpet player earlier today. And we were talking about mouthpiece placement and specifically how mouthpiece placement and the obicularis orus, which is this muscle that kind of works its way around your face and your lips, how that affects playing. Now we know as we're playing playing the trumpet and as we're moving through registers, the size of our aperture, which is that hole, really kind of controls our volume, how loud or soft we are. And then the overall kind of like compression and tension here will change the speed of the buzz, right? So something like or those two different buzzes are based on the amount of kind of compression and resistance that you get a little bit here. But what we found that was kind of interesting is that if we set the mouthpiece where the anchor point is below where this muscle can control it, then what you end up getting is kind of this isometric force. When you try to, bring this muscle down through your corners, try to make that tighter, like that. If your mouthpiece is there, it's basically creating this isometric tension. You can kind of see that as I try to pull that thing down, it's kind of pinning it up, and I can feel this pressure against my finger. My finger's not moving with it. If I move it up just slightly and get it where it should belong, then there's no more of that isometric tension. And if I was to move that muscle up and down, the finger goes with it. That's really pretty interesting. And so you'll see sometimes when people play, we talk a lot about mouthpiece placement, about how high should it be up? Should it be up to here? Obviously that won't work, no bottom lip. Some people play down here. But what's really important is just making sure that muscle, the ridge of that muscle, is inside here. We talk often about the pink being inside of here, and that's not really enough. You've got to have it where the top of that muscle is down there, so that when you're firming up your embouchure, you're not getting that isometric tension that you would before. And you'll kind of notice that with isometric tension, it'll seem like there's a pocket up above. That's where the muscle is getting stuck. So here's when we set it too low. This is kind of weird playing at an angle here. And you can kind of see the way it's set. When we set it properly, you can see that it's allowing all this to kind of move without being forced up, okay? So give that some thought. The thing that I was kind of playing around with in my conversation earlier was you could just take your finger, and if you feel like you're doing this, that you're getting that isometric pressure, which is basically, really isometrics are bad when we're playing the trumpet. We generally don't want that. And isometrics are when two muscles are opposing each other. Okay, that's what an isometric is. So see if where you put your mouthpiece, and then when you try to form your embouchure, is that pushing hard against your finger and kind of creating a sticking point, a static point here. If that's the case, see what happens if you can move that finger a little higher. Can you control that without having that isometric tension? Once you feel like you found that point, kind of keep pushing on it so you can see where that point's at, and then take your mouthpiece and try to put it in that exact same spot. And then you can just try blowing. Don't try to buzz, just blow. You can kind of flex a little bit to make sure you're not stuck in that isometric point. And we're not even really trying to vibrate. Just try to get that feeling of what it feels like. Now, if it starts, once you get it where you feel like you've kind of got something there, and you're not getting that isometric tension against each other, then you can just allow your lips to come a little close together and see if you can buzz. But I can feel that this mouthpiece rim is on top of the muscle where I want it. It's not underneath it, all right? So anyway, give that a shot and let me know if you've kind of experienced some of the same things or what your thoughts are in the comments. I'd love to hear them. See ya.